I am the flag of the United States of America. I was conceived in the dreams of liberty and in the hopes of freedom. I was designed by the hands of Betsy Ross, and her sewing basket was my cradle. Although I was an urban orphan, I was adopted by the Continental Congress in 1777 and proclaimed the national emblem of a nation newly born on the continent, fighting valiantly for survival and destined to bring to all mankind a new concept of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I've been many places and I've seen many things. I have witnessed every event of America's history. I was there when they fired the shot heard around the world. I was there in the late twilight at Fort McHenry and inspired Francis Scott Key to write the immortal Star-Spangled Banner, now our national anthem. Ladies, I saw Molly Pitcher take the cannon swat from the hands of her dead husband and carry on the fight for freedom. I felt the biting cold at Valley Forge and gave warmth and comfort to General Washington and his tired and hungry Continental Army. I rode with Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys, and I saw the signal that started the midnight ride of Paul Revere. I was flown on the decks of old Ironsides and from the mast of the Yankee and China Clippers. I blazed a trail with Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone. I led settlers coming west and crossed Death Valley in a covered wagon. I was carried through the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli by the United States Marines, and once I fell to the ground at Custer's last stand, and there were no living hands to pick me up. I charged up the slopes of San Juan Hill with Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders of the United States Cavalry, and I was raised by 5 brave men during the hell of Iwo Jima. And I waved farewell to the 4 immortal chaplains who took off their life jackets, gave them to the young soldiers, locking arms, singing "Closer, My God, to Thee," slowly sank into the sea, into an honored glory. I stayed with the troops until it was over. And on the battlefields of Bunker Hill, Gettysburg, Pearl Harbor, war-torn Europe, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and much of the Middle East to this day, I've seen many of our soldiers, sailors, and airmen of our nation fall and lie still in death. They had given the last full measure of devotion, their voices silenced forever. And my stars and stripes rustled gently in the breeze as I kept my lonely vigil over their graves, watching the poppies grow and the crosses row on row. I am many things to many people. I'm an inseparable link in the chain that binds men to God and country. Each link welded in the fires of purity by the sacred hands of God Himself. And because I'm on the side of God, there are those that seek to destroy me. But they dare not, for I'm protected by the mighty land armies of our nation, by the powerful and deadly fleet of the Navy, and by the screaming eagles of the Air Force, just watching and waiting to swoop down and destroy anything that should harm me. To some, I am yesterday, today, or tomorrow. To others, I'm a glorious child, a grand old man, or a most gracious lady. I have several names. I'm called the Red, White, and Blue, the Stars and Stripes, the Star-Spangled Banner, but I'm most commonly known by a nickname given to me by an old sea captain, Captain William Driver, who's buried in Nashville's Old City Cemetery. Captain Driver called me Old Glory. I've changed much in my 247 years. I still have my original 13 stripes, and each time a state came into the Union, a star was proudly added to the constellation of my blue field. It all started with 13, and now there are 50. There are many more things I'd like to tell you, but we haven't the time. I'd like to see you again. I'm easy to find. I'm in the homes of the poor and in the mansions of the rich, in Independence Hall with the Liberty Bell and the Declaration of Independence. I'm in the White House with the President and Mrs. Biden, and in all the churches, cathedrals, and synagogues. I'm in the council of the Boy and Girl Scouts of America, and in all the schools where they pledge allegiance to me. And I am on the moon, where I am oh so lonely, for I'm the only one there. My life has not been an easy one, but my memories are vivid, and I have not forgotten the prisoners of war or those missing in action. For we must always remember them, lest their tears cause my stars to become clouded and my stripes to fade. I've draped the caskets of our nation's heroes, borne to their final resting place. The caskets of presidents, of admirals and generals, the humble private and the unknown soldier. And wherever free men gather, wherever there's justice, equality, charity, faith, hope, truth, or brotherly love, there too am I. And may history never write my obituary, for I'm the stars and stripes forever. I am Old Glory.